Alright guys, it's Dokkan time, and today we're just going to be doing a really quick how to build for a unit that's on the current Vegeta banner. I figured it would be best to try and go through the majority of units that are on the banner. Obviously, I have a how to build for both Tech Vegeta, King Vegeta. We already have a build for this Goku. I feel like I need to revise that one. But we also have God Goku. The only unit I think on this banner that I don't have a how to build for is Majin Vegeta. And actually I don't have one for this Broly, but that's for another video. So, Majin Vegeta is on the banner, so some people could be pulling him. He is not old, but at the same time he didn't age well, and I think it's just because of the lack of raw defense they did not give him. I'll show you the hidden potential I have and what I'll suggest. Hidden potential I went with was a full dodge. It was actually kind of a bit of a controversy when he first came out. A lot of people didn't want to go with this kind of build. But at the end of the day, he 100% is just, he's a dodge tank. He's a tank. And that's what his job was, and that he did very well originally. Nowadays, I don't think... Unfortunately, I do not think he would do as well. I outfitted him with 30 dodge. I decided to go with a defensive skill orb, of course. It doesn't mean you have to go with a defense orb. In fact, I would say you don't need the defense orb until he easy A's one day. But if we go ahead and go over to Halvard over here and look at the old calculations for these, he is just not... He's not cooking. He's just really not cooking here. 3 key spheres to get the maximum boost from his passive, and I mean defensive 600k is just not acceptable. Outside of having a damage reduction of like 70 to 80%, 600k defense just is not good enough. You will get rocked. You will get rocked. That being said, he does have a damage reduction of 50%. So he can survive a 1 mil super if he double supers. The harsh truth, though, is that you need to have this guy rainbowed at this point. Anything less than a rainbow, and you're going to be lacking a little bit more defense than you're comfortable with. If he doesn't double super, then he's not really hitting that 600. More than likely, everyone's average run-of-the-mill defense after supering is just going to be around that 400k marker, and that's just terrible. Now he's not outright garbage or anything of the form. I mean, he does have, let's see here, what was it, 50% damage reduction with 6 or more key spheres obtained. So that is the big deal, is that you have to get 6 key spheres with him mandatory at this point of the game's lifespan and how the meta is going. If he doesn't have that 50% damage reduction, you're going to be in trouble, especially if it's in slot 1. In slot 1, you just can't anymore. I mean, 50% damage reduction, and he's got what? How much defense start a turn? Maximum he could be at 250. That's just not good enough. That means he can only take 500k. That's it. Otherwise, he's going to be taking over 250k damage, and it's just not worth it to throw him in slot 1 anymore. His best partner is still the LR Vegeta and Trunks, which just aged immensely better than he did. Hopefully, he'll get an easy A sometime this year. It feels like it's going to be the year of Vegeta, kind of like how we had the year of Piccolo. But yeah, he's unfortunately just straight up a full dodge build as of right now. I will say, based on how his kit looks, I don't think it'll change too much. I think you could go more into additional, perhaps, after he gets a future easy A of some form. But, I mean, all I see for potential possibility of down the line is that they'll make it easier for him to get his damage reduction. He's still not going to be doing absurd amount of damage or anything. I think no matter what, additional and dodge is the way to go for this guy. No matter what, it 100% is. Full dodge. Mine's 30. I would at least put it up at 20. which is the standard amount you can have in his hidden potential. If you don't use any skill orbs, it'll be at 20 on the dot. And I think that's the bare minimum that you need to have his dodge at, because it's just not good enough this day and age. He's still a fun unit, still great animation, still a great OST, but you need him to be rainbowed, you need him to super attack, and you need to give him 6 key spheres, otherwise you're gonna be in pain. Hopefully I can make an up-to-date how to build for this guy pretty soon when he EZAs. I don't know if he'll EZA this year. He's only 2 years old. He's only 2 years old, so we might need to wait another year. But anyways, guys, I hope that helped anybody out that's new or just maybe rainbowed him off of Vegeta's banner. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day and a good night.